Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel and happy new year. So this year I decided I wanted to take my time and ease my way into the new year. So often I am like rushing to get the ball rolling and hit the ground running with a bang, and then after a couple of months or after a couple of weeks I am burnt out and I just can't maintain. So I didn't want that for myself this year. So I decided I'm gonna take my time, just slowly build that momentum so that I can just last throughout the year. I spent some time at the end of December thinking about some of the goals that I wanted for this year. Actually focus more on just Q1. My 2024 planners just came in, so I'm gonna spend some time today just flushing out some of those ideas and putting them all on paper so that they can become reality for me and just getting my planner all set up. Paper and pen girly. Like, I tried to get into Notion and some of the other like schedulers and organizers, electronic organizers and schedulers, but I just can't. Like, I even bought templates because I think they're like really pretty and I would love to get into it, but it's just not for me. And so I don't know what it is, but there's something about writing it down by hand. It just makes me feel more productive and it like imprints into my mind that way as opposed to like electronically. Like, I still use Google Calendar for work and communicating with my team and stuff like that, but like for day-to-day things, I write it all down. So I really want to focus on breaking down each of my platforms that I show up on. So Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and then my website. So like my blog and newsletter. I'm not really sure how I'm gonna work that this year, but that's like the fourth. So I want to really break those down and figure out how I'm showing up on each of those platforms. I don't want to just do the same thing that I'm doing on Instagram, on TikTok. I was up to this point, like that's what I've been doing. Like, if you look at both of those platforms, it's the same content, but that's not what I want. And I just want to like diversify it, right? Like, not overwhelm myself, not create too much more work for myself, but the audiences are different and the platforms are different. And I just want to make sure that I have a clear understanding on, like, you know, when I'm creating a video for YouTube, what is that looking like? When I create a video for TikTok, what is that looking like specifically, so that I'm not like coming into the day or coming into a content creation day just all over the place in my mind and just like really eliminating some of that guesswork. So that's one of the things that I want to sort of flush out. And I think that for the most part, the themes are going to remain the same. So I pretty much am, you know, a lifestyle creator. So I create content about my life, and that could include, you know, some of the things that I'm doing at home. A lot of what I show has to do with like my business and like, you know, being a creator, being an entrepreneur, and my day-to-day life. But that could also be content about my, you know, my life as a new mom, or content about, you know, beauty content, or mindset. You know, mindset is something that I talk about a lot. So those themes will probably remain the same, but just figuring out exactly what type of content lives on each platform, or like how I'm creating that content for each platform. So that's one of the things that I want to work on today, fleshing out today. The other thing that I wanted to work on is determining what consistency looks like for me on each of these platforms. So for YouTube, here on YouTube, you know, right now my goal is to post a video once a week. I would love to increase that, but I think right now once a week is doable for me. You know, I would love to, ideally I would love to, you know, do like a dedicated video once a week, and then also a vlog, you know, so maybe like 2 videos a week. But I think right now, to maintain my consistency, 1 video a week is more realistic for me. Now for Instagram and TikTok, I'm still sort of like working that out, like what I want that to look like. It's not gonna be every day. That's just not realistic for me. I don't really have a desire to post every single day, honestly. But nonetheless, figuring out what that looks like, consistency looks like for me that I can stick to, that is something that I also want to determine today. And then breaking down some of my goals for each platform. So what are some of my follower goals for each? I'm not huge on like follower counts, but there are some goals that I have in order to just really like grow my business. There are some goals that I have in reaching follower accounts for platforms. So I'm sort of like figuring out what's realistic for me and how I'm actually gonna get there for each of these platforms by the end of Q1. So that is sort of like my first benchmark, Q1 for the goals that I'm like working on today. So in addition to figuring out what my goals are for each of my platforms, I also just want to figure out a system on how I create content and how I show up specifically on each of those platforms. There's a quote that I've like lived by in business from Atomic Habits. If you have not read Atomic Habits, you're a business owner, go get it today. It's like such a great book, such practical life lessons. But anyway, there's a quote that says, you do not rise to the level of your goals, but you fall to the level of your systems, which is just, it's very simple, but it's like so real, right? Sometimes as we head into the new year, we have like all of these goals, but a lot of times we fail to create a system or a strategy in how we're going to accomplish it. So that is really like the focus of my day today, in addition to like, you know, playing with my new planner and just getting it all set up. It's really just figuring out my strategy for our Q1. And I hope that just by sharing some of the information or some of the things that I'm doing for myself, that will help you in, you know, creating your own goals. Maybe you've already written out your goals for 2024 or, you know, Q1, or you're still working on them. Whatever the case, there's always room to fine tune them. So I hope that, you know, this video will help inspire you, especially if you're in the social media content creation space. I hope that some of my goals or some of my strategies will help you in developing your own strategy. When it comes to my income goals, that is a number that I am thinking about annually, and then breaking that down by quarter, but then also by income stream. So I make my money a couple of different ways. Majority of the ways that I make my money is through brand deals, through products and services, and through affiliate links. So those are like the 3, I'd say the biggest touch points of how I make my money. So I also am breaking down those things today when it comes to revenue into my business, figuring out brand deals and like all of the brands that I want to work with this year, some of like my, you know, dream partnerships this year, and some partnership categories, some things that I want to get into this year. So that's something that I'm going to be thinking about. When it comes to products and services, currently I offer content creation services, and I have a class, a content creation class. There's so many more things that I have like going on up here, so many things that people have said that they want. I have an idea for a membership that I've had in the past. I've had a membership program in the past, which was like very hush hush, but I want to like make that more robust. You know, I currently have subscribers on Instagram, which I'm like not using to the fullest extent. So I'm trying to think of a way to sort of like rework all of that, something that I offer on a monthly basis. And so lots of thoughts going on up here that I want to like get down on paper. Yeah, so products and services is the second way that I want to really expand and flesh out my ideas, because that is the second, like my second largest currently income stream. And then there's affiliate links, which I totally want to ramp up this year and just really have a strategy. Again, all about strategy. I don't think I've really had an affiliate link strategy that I've stuck to. So that's something that I also want to, figure out. And I'm not as knowledgeable in this area, I must admit. I'm currently familiar with Like to Know It and a few other platforms that I use, but I sort of like use it here and there. I haven't really had a designated strategy where I've incorporated into my business consistently. So that is something that I'm also working on for this year. And then the last thing I want to focus on is like my actual business schedule. So what am I doing on Mondays? What am I doing on Tuesdays, Wednesdays? Like, when am I creating content? Those are the things that I really want to iron out, and I don't want to be so rigid with it where things can't change. I'm a mom of a newborn, so things change all the time. But I do want to have a plan in place, right? Things change, they change, but I want to have a plan in place. So that is really the bulk of like what I want to work on today. I am probably going to throw some music on, pour me a glass of wine, and just like get in my zone. What you would like to see from me this year here on YouTube. And if you're watching from another platform, let me know in the comments as well what you'd like to see from some of my other platforms. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace, y'all.